Da, 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 da. Welcome to Healthy Living with Christina Changwa and
Pastor Lasting.
Yeah. We are back with the relationship series. Very excited. Thank you so much for the feedback on the last video. So before we even get into, the diamonds, the purpose we're here today, would like to make sure to encourage you to like, share and subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification bell because it allows you to get notifications every time the video is out. So now that is done, I don't know if you can tell, like I'm giddy, like I'm so excited, like so today we'll be talking about courtship. Before you say I do, just some basic principles about courtship, what we believe helped us, what we believe will help you. Look forward to, for those that are single, like what do you want to look forward to in a courtship? What would you like to do when you get into it? Because sometimes when you dive into something without the knowledge, it's
chaotic.
It's crazy. And also for those that are in it, it will also help you, like it gives you some pointers as to what to look out for in your relationship, maybe what you're doing well, what you need to improve on and what not. Yes, so now that is out of the way, I think we can get right into it.
So would you like to give a bit of a background though? Even though you kind of like gave like literally a whole summary, like a glossary, like an index, a table of contents, and you broke it down. But I mean,
Okay. So for us, we firmly believe that if you're going to like courtship, maybe we should define it first. To us, we believe there should be a verbal like confirmation, a verbal exchange to say, look, I want to be in a relationship with you. I
learned that the hard way. If you remember from our previous
I mean,
video.
we touched on it much, but yes, there should be a verbal like expression to say, I would like to, go on this journey with you, see where this is going. I believe we could be good companions, be more than friends, right? So once that's out of the way, I believe you are courting. And yes, I think that's more of a background. So for us, and let me speak for myself. Growing up, it's I did notice it was rather casual, being in school. Like it's just something I was never into. By that I mean the casual dating thing. It's just never been my thing. And then now that, especially when I got born again and got connected to the right mentorship and was just being trained and everything, I really believe that it made so much sense. It resonated with me as to why, for me, relationships were serious. I don't know about you, but when I fall in love, I fall in love hard. So I did not have time for games. I used to even joke, right? I used to talk about how life is so serious that I don't even play video games.
Wow. Well, I used to play a lot of video games.
I still don't really like video games, but
I actually like FIFA right now.
Point number one.
All the gentlemen comment in the just fill up the comment section with how much FIFA needs its own time.
This campaign. Anyway, yes, I just was trying to emphasize how I don't like video games. Moving on. So point number one, being compatible doesn't mean you're exactly alike, but we'll talk about that later in the series. So some principles that we believe really everybody should know about courtship. I think for me the first one, if I can go first, Pastor.
Please.
For me, the first one I would say is that you need to bear in mind that courtship is an investment. My God. Even just by definition, an investment is like, it's something that's long term, right? It's not going to give you, it's not like these get rich quick schemes, like give me 200 and you make 1,000 in 6 days and all of those things. No, it's an investment. If you actually want something rich out of it, you want something that is good quality, it's an investment. And ladies, I know I'm speaking to you, I know you know what I'm talking about. Just inches, I'm talking about them double Johns, like is a whole lot of money. It's an investment, and you know it's going to be there. You want it to last the test of time. You want it to be a certain type of way. It's an investment. So what do I believe? Why do I believe that is so? Because I'll give a personal example for me. Right before, I think he made his intentions known in November 12, 2016. Around June, I remember having a conversation with Lady Mwelwa Kaluluma. She has a podcast channel, Couch Talk with Mwelwa, so please ensure to follow. She is a well of wisdom. And I remember she had a conversation with me in June, and I can't forget because that's how impactful it was. And she told me, look, you know, you're now a young lady, so it's good for you to start preparing yourself. Get to know what you like. Get to know, watch videos such as this and get acquainted with knowledge as what best to do. For me, some of the things that stood out is, okay, I'm not as accommodating, right? By definition, accommodating is something like, you know, maybe I like to use this seat alone. Now I need to like scoot over to ensure another person. Yeah, you get what I mean.
I clearly do.
Yeah, so I believe it's an investment. Pastor, I don't know what you would like to say about that.
I agree, 155%.
That's right.
Because when you actually look at an investment, first of all, it's not that aspect where you're thinking about it reaping the benefits immediately. An investment is where you're actually thinking long term. So the way we used to see casual relationships, I mean, growing up, I saw many casual relationships, and it's really like there was no aim. There was no there was nothing to look forward to. The only thing you were looking forward to is receiving that message or receiving that call that day and perhaps the next day. But there was nothing. There was like, if someone was to ask the other, okay, what do you think you're going to reap from this in 5 years? Blank. Like, they wouldn't even think that far. They were just thinking about being the one with the hottest girl, or the I don't know what you guys, you ladies used to refer to guys.
I have no idea.
Okay, the hottest guy.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Eligible bachelor.
The eligible bachelor. So it was just that thing about, I think we can say clout. We can say just the aspect of the image and the momentary feeling, and
such that at the end of those, you're not gaining anything. Nothing has changed about you. You've not improved as a person. You've not, if anything, you're retrogressive.
Exactly.
Like you're failing in school and whatnot. Like you're just on the phone for hours talking about absolutely nothing. Like it's not actually impacting your life in any way, which is a problem. And why we say investment is anytime you put your money into something, and that's what courtship really is. You're going to invest your emotions. You're going to invest your talk time. You're going to invest your money.
And time.
Yes, you're going to invest your prayers. You're going to invest your social media, your status, like name it. You're just going, all those things that you're putting into it, they should be an end goal. They should be when you're investing into something, you're not giving. It's not. There's a reason it's not called giving alms, right? You're expecting a huge profit at the end of everything. So it's bear that in mind before, when someone is telling you, look, you're cute and whatever, okay, and I think Pastor can bear witness.
refer back to last week's video.
Like the moment he's like, look, I'm vibing with you, I'm like, okay,
number one,
you know, where are you? Like I had to ask so many questions because I needed to make sure that I'm making the right investment. Like being cute, it's all good. Trust me, it's all good. But at the same time, like, it's an investment. I needed my head. Keep your head in the game, right? Pastor, what would you say is like another principle you'd like them to know?
I think like literally driving off from this, we're literally talking about investment, right? Thinking long term.
Yes, Pastor.
So there, one other principle that you actually have to think about is the aspect of having a vision. What is the vision? I mean, when you look at Proverbs 29 verse 18, it literally reads, I'm reading from the Amplified Classic Version, okay? It literally reads, where there is no vision, no redemptive revelation of God, the people perish. But he who keeps the law of God, which includes that of man, blessed, happy, fortunate, and enviable is he. So now, practically, if you read it from a whole bunch of versions, the way I summed up this scripture for myself, where there is no vision, people lack restraint. People have, like, they are literally, I like to refer to it as they are practically like a headless chicken.
Come
on. Because there's nowhere they're going, just although of course it's headless, so you can't hear the sound effects. Okay, I won't repeat them because they've made a beautiful face.
Yes.
But it's literally like when you have no plan, no future goals, aims, or purpose, then what is the reason for which you're doing what you're doing? So with regards to courtship and the relationship, you cannot get into it without having a future goal, without having an aim. And without the aim being marriage, because that is the purpose of a relationship. Otherwise, what are you doing what you're doing?
Yes.
And there are certain things, even when we're looking at the aspect of investment. With regards to investment, you also look at the sacrifices, because you're looking more to the gain that you'll get once the profits return.
Yes,
okay, so it's literally like the aspect of sacrificing your purity, sacrificing your, and we already listed all those other things, but it's literally, you need to have a vision. When you have a vision, it helps you run in the present time.
That's completely true. I completely agree. And I think for me, another reason I believe you should have a vision or a purpose attached to your courtship is because that is why most people end up being retrogressive. I'm saying this because it's something I'm very passionate about. I've seen people come into relationships and whatnot, and like, I'll give an example of something funny, right? People like to say relationship gains, or like, you crazy gain weight, like, because you're in love, they keep buying you food and whatnot. Like, it's all cute, but like, let's not forget how healthy you were before, drinking them shakes, and how you were running and whatnot. I don't know why I'm rapping, but anyway, my point is, like, you actually have to bear in mind that, am I being the best version of myself? Is this relationship actually making me the best version of myself? Is it making him the best version of himself? I gave an example last time of a time where I was going through something like that, my kind of severed ties in this relationship, and he was able to notice that I just wasn't okay, right? If there are several moments I've noticed the same thing, and we've literally gotten each other help, encouraged each other to further studies, encouraged each other, like, name it, because at the end of the day, him being the best version of himself makes him the best man for me. It makes this relationship the best version that God intended for it to be. So it's not enough, that you're feeling, it's not just about now. Another thing about investment is it's a present sacrifice in order for, like, future gains, right? So I'm not saying that it's hard, it's boring, it's whatever. Like, it's fun, but at the same time, like, the fact, do you really want to be together forever, but every day hungry lion? Like,
that's unhealthy.
Extremely. So I think the next principle I would actually like to highlight, you have to ensure that you're having some version of reviews. I like to call them sadic meetings. I love them.
It literally feels
He doesn't.
Literally feels like a sadic meeting. Like, seriously.
It's business. We need to sit down and analyze with graphs and
as long as we do it when I'm wearing a tie, because if I'm not wearing a tie, I'm, like, relaxed. Okay,
even when you're wearing a tie. Anyway, my point is, as much as you can as couples, maybe let me not make it sound scary, have check-ins. It's okay to it's very healthy. I'll give an example. Do you know that when you buy a brand new car, it has to get serviced regularly in order for it to stay fit? I'll let that sink in. Yes, in the same way, I'm in love, right? I'm enjoying, all the attention and blah, blah, blah. But I also have to make sure, like, are you okay? Are we, building ourselves? Where do you feel like I could work on myself here and there, right? Obviously, being open. And again, for your partner, please, it's not an opportunity for you to now start jabbing. I'm glad you brought it up. You don't spray. You don't, like, no, it's not that. That's very unhealthy. Anyway, it's an opportunity. The Bible tells us in John 15 that God, the vine dresser, he actually prunes what bears fruit. You know what that means? Like, cleans it up so that it can bear more fruit. It's important in a relationship to actually sit down, have a conversation, and be able to see like, okay, it's even, I honestly think it's highly romantic to have some goals, like your resolutions for the year. That's your accountability partner, right? So I believe it's where you start finding that people, you're bouncing off each other's strengths, right? Like I'll give an example. I'm very strong financially, so I help a lot financially. He's very strong with everything, even me, just literally the dream of me having a YouTube, being alive, this same video right now would not be possible without him. So sharing with him like, look, in those check-in moments, I want to do more, I want to be out there on social media. He listens and he helps keep me in check. In the same way, he shares with me and I help keep him in check, just to ensure we're being the best versions of each other. Sometimes, like, not just giggling and laughing, are you actually praying together? I'm not saying start hosting conferences every day, but at least it's a good way for you to just make sure that your partner is being the best version that God made them to be. Pastor, what would you say?
Well, I think on this one, it's literally like something that I used to say a lot.
Yeah.
Where when God is actually bringing two people together, he looks at the future of this person and the future of this person, and he brings them together. And this is so that they can grow to be the people that they're supposed to be, but their destinies are actually compatible and comparable. They literally adapt to exactly. Yeah. Because otherwise, if you are seeing yourself here, going here, and you're seeing yourself going here, what's the point in coming together if you, at the end of it all, you're actually going to be apart? And so now the purpose for firstly having the vision, like we mentioned in the previous point, is to know the end goal. Where are you seeing yourself? And then where do you see it, like yourself together in that time? And then the aspect of the reviews, you need to check and see that, number one, you're still going in the same direction you agreed in the beginning. And you know that you're actually making progress towards that goal. I
feel like this has really been helpful, even for me. It brings so many memories. It's in these conversations that we're able to pick, okay, like, are we in the best financial state and whatnot to progress to the next level? Without that conversation, I can be planning a wedding dress and it's not in the least bit on his mind, and I'm just assuming as much as you can have those conversations. Pastor, what would you say is another thing you'd like for the people to learn?
The aspect of courtship is it being the period before marriage.
You're not married.
So that's it right there. You are not married. Let me repeat it. You are not married.
Yes, Pastor.
Okay? You're not married. There are certain things that are just meant for married people. So do not start doing things like you're actually married.
Yes. And this is an area I would say you still need. This is where having a mentor has been helpful to us.
Being accountable to someone.
Having someone who are both accountable to has really been helpful. Because in those moments when you're in love, or like you're on clouds 70 million,
I miss you. I just want to be with you.
Yeah.
And you're literally there, and like this 1 month into the relationship. Where do you think you'll be in 1 year?
Yes. No, we'll get into, so in other words, I'm just saying have healthy boundaries.
Exactly.
Do not, and we strongly, and like you heard it here first, folks, it is not okay for you guys to be sexually active. No. And I don't just mean things like, I'm not talking about just penetrative sex. I mean like everything leading up to it, because that's the word, leading up.
Exactly.
You're in the road. You're actually going there.
Yeah.
Our first kiss was actually on our wedding day. Just feels good saying that. Anyway, moving on. So I really do believe that as much as you can have healthy relationship boundaries, for a healthy relationship. So it's beyond just like physical boundaries. But why we want to talk about that is it's best for you to actually communicate.
Exactly.
Like, this is my boundaries. Like you gotta, and I felt for us. Anyway, we'll get into that. We're going to do a full video about waiting on marriage.
Yeah.
next week. So another version of a healthy boundary is learning. You knowing you're not married, I didn't carry his last name and whatnot. I can't start buying him certain things, like certain assets and whatever. I mean, like, if you want to do that, again, it's all up to you, but are you counting the cost, right? So in as much as you can, like, you're already headed towards marriage, so what's like the rush? Why are you they're so benefactor of this person's business and whatnot? Like, again, that's just on me. I do believe that we should have certain healthy boundaries when it comes to several things. This is where, and I'm saying this because as pastoring people and us being counselors for people, you do come to notice that this is the sources of hurt for people. Like, yes, the person can betray, yes, there's things like infidelity and whatnot, but even beyond that, people get robbed, people lose money, people lose so much, right? And like we said, it's an investment, so you have to actually be smart about it. So don't leave your head when you're in love. Even if you're in love, no matter how they cry, they kneel, they grovel, keep your head in the game. So have healthy boundaries because you're not married. Yeah. So, Pastor, I think now we've talked about that, one of the things I'd also like to highlight is to actually enjoy the current state that you're in. Sometimes there's a temptation because courtship is just a path, it's leading towards something as marriage. Like we said, no touching each other and whatever. You start now, you're just pining for the next level. There's no problem with having the desire to be married, honestly. But at the same time, it's okay. You're going to completely miss this. The Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 that the Lord, He set the world in times and seasons deliberately. He set it that there should be seasons. So you'll be born a baby, you change it, you go to school. All those seasons are actually important for you to understand this. And if you've heard anything I've said, please pay attention to that, because once you cross over into the next level, which again we'll talk about all these things, it's a series after all. Like, once you cross over into the next level, the knowledge you have now, what you're building now, you're going to need in the future. I'll give an example. They usually say in courtship, keep your eyes open, and I completely agree, but we'll talk about that in the next point. So for me, I really just wanted to stress that enjoy being together, enjoy the dates that you're going out, enjoy that you're going back home and you're sleeping in your own bed. I'm not saying sharing the bed is bad, but you get my point. Still enjoy those moments. Enjoy that you have the freedom to travel, to study, to do this and all of that stuff. Like, enjoy the season that you are in. Pastor, your thoughts?
I love that, and that's why what was actually coming to mind was there was a lot of things that were coming to mind as you were speaking, to be honest with you. I think I would actually end up just also talking about counting the cost. Like, as you're enjoying the process, number one, don't awaken love before it's time, but we'll get into that, okay? It's that kind of thing where don't let yourself start things before the time. And so for certain people, perhaps it's happened, it's never too late to stop. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to be restored. It's never too late to go to your pastor, open up, confess, have him counsel you or have her counsel you, and just be pastored. The purpose of pastoring is not just about you coming to church, learning like the things that seem churchy. It's about life, and we as the City of the Lord Church are literally doing doctrine and life. And so even with regards to if a relationship is going sour, if it's going the wrong way, maybe you even feel, no, we've been together for 5 years, we just have to get married. That's not what it means. I mean, in those 5 years, you've been physically abused, you've been cheated on, and you're telling me that that's not going to be happening during your marriage? No. I mean, we are telling you now, it is better to jump ship before it is too late.
Before the shipwreck.
Exactly. It is better to jump ship before the shipwreck. And it is much better to actually be able to come to a place where you regret something that may have, like perhaps you wasted a lot of time. It's better you stop wasting time, because now you're going to end up wasting more time. So it's better you just cut it off. recover from that, recuperate, get counseling concerning it, learn from it so that you don't make the same mistakes, you don't choose the same person for the same reasons. You now think vision, you think investment, you think every other point that we've mentioned. And well, one thing that our pastor says that really just hits the nail on the head. Don't just think of hopping from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. All you're doing is practicing to be very well versed in divorce. You're literally training yourself
to just cut ties. Like every time something gets hard, and it's not a contradiction. If something is truly toxic, if something is beyond repair, and by that I mean the Bible does admonish us that if you have a challenge, it's okay to approach the elders. You talk to one or two people. You're trying to get help and nothing has changed. It's okay to cut. Again, we said it's about a destination, right? You're heading somewhere, and you're not heading the same direction. It's better to jump ship. But at the same time, I like to say every single thing that I've gone through is a learning experience. So I don't, even if let's say you cut it off, it's okay that actually learn something from there. I'm usually like, wow, especially if I cut off anything that's toxic, I'm usually like, wow, I'm proud of myself for being able to be brave to do that, right? Yeah, a superhero. At the same time, I'm always applauding myself for any move that I make. I don't have regrets, but lessons. Take it more like that. Yes, so we really hope you've been blessed and that you've enjoyed this video. We pray that you find the one, that the Lord leads you to, the one that is going to improve your life and make you the best version of you, assist you in that journey. But for those in relationships, we pray that it flourishes and that you get to your destination as God intended. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and again, make sure to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video.